Testing. Testing the voice. So we have the voice working in regards to Audacity, the free software. Why aren't I saying anything? Because I think I'm done. Because I live in the moment. Because I got nothing to do with it. Because I figured out how strange it is in regards to the news. How all those shows are scripted. It's surreal for me, myself, that I'm the one who put it all out there, that no one responds, and that AI bots are everywhere, I think is good evidence that I'm not lying or mistaken or naive or hallucinating. No, the AI is what does the hallucinating. It's a long, long story. This part of it with these hidden teleprompters on so-called live streams, this so-called alternative media. By the way, this alternative media, it's Jimmy Dore, right? Off of Cenk Uygur. He's alternative. So he's Tucker Carlson from the right. He's now considered alternative. They're all in on it, which is bizarre. They got caught holding the bag of something that apparently can't be leaked out. It can't be any huge schadenfreude like the Hal Turner story. They want you, me, us to believe that Hal Turner was only a little bit of it, the internet, of social media. The problem is it's everywhere. They have this idea that you have influencer nodes who provide the limits of free speech. This doesn't work. It's like that kid who was working with AI and he's no longer alive, but he said the AI was just not sustainable. All I really could see him say was it was theft. He put it. Excuse me, clear my throat. It's clearly theft. It's obviously theft. They're the PTBs, so to speak, were just proverbially in over their heads. This is all words. All we have to speak with one another is language. They, them, want everything like a status quo. So the if you think about the QAnon thing, that's like a Lucy with with the football, and she's drawn back in conservative side of it, or even anyone who's apolitical. They seem to always want to keep a 50-50, but it's a facade. I don't. I think the thing's over. I think the medium. It's the Wizard of Oz thing. We all know Wizard of Oz. Anyone who by chance never saw that, like, just don't listen and Don't listen. Come back in half minute. I'll just say, like, everyone, by the end, everyone could see that it was the Wizard of Oz in the back room. Same exact scenario. I have to shut up about that soon because those people who haven't seen Wizard of Oz, they didn't want it spoiled. Okay, they're probably back in the room, so I can't even allude to it. Um, Basically, we're looking at the PTBs who want to reboot it. They want they want to go back to when you wake up, you turn on that computer. You're like, first thing you do is turn on the computer. Back in the day, like 10 years ago or 20, probably 20. What is it, 2025? No, I wasn't on the internet 20 years ago. About 18 years ago, I popped onto this F-er. Um, what is the point of this? Oh, I have like a minute and a half of film. Oh, so I was, so this is just like, I'm pointing out like this, this, uh, this intersection in which, I didn't want to say intersectionality because it's stupid to, but the junction, isn't that a good academic descriptive? The junction. They want it to be where people are passive and they're like, "Oh, I'll listen to them." They want us to pick who they supply to think for us. They don't like me because I've just always been subversive the whole life. And now I'm tied to the history books through the other thing, the Kimberlin. And all that was fake news. If anyone ever could look into it, they'd see that I was calling out, like, I think it was a Soros thing, like, wasn't it Tides? That group comes up, and I guess Tides was bankrolling Rock the Vote. I don't know who was bankrolling Brad Blog, but he was clearly a plant. And I was on Brad Blog, and then it turned out that he was partners with Kimberlin. And there was also that, if you know Scott Horton, he's one of them from the RT, like this alternative media. He's married to someone who loved Brett Kimberlin, and we were getting, myself and Larissa Alexandrovna were getting in like big to do. I was like, I was one of those blogger types. So basically, I have like a first case, a first person story narrative here about a humongous meta thing that went on, and it involved I'll just list some names so you see like where I'm coming from and how I am tied to the history book. So I'm tied to Project Vigilant. Project Vigilant went after me. That was run by this guy called Chet Uber, Chet, Uber, like the company, Uber. He had this pit bull, like this nasty person, Neil Rauhauser, Neal Rauhauser. I mean, there's tons of names I could just start to name drop here, but I'll just mention that the SWATgate story is all from that. It was let's see. it was basically Breitbart versus Daily Cost. They were the two biggest websites back then for the psyop of left versus right. Sorry, keep having to clear my throat. And so this guy Kimberlin was vehemently against Breitbart, and I was taking it all at face value, but from my own angle, that they're all fake. It was I was that guy Kimberlin. I mean, I looked into it, and there was like nothing on the internet there because the way his age and the crimes happened before the internet. So I was pretty much hopping onto that story as a pioneer of it. But I was relating it to social media. So these people who I went after nowadays, like Lee Camp or Katie Halper, Matt Taibbi, Glenn Greenwald, I mean, they're all in on it. It's the Five Eyes. I mean, it's all these different. They always try to say, like, if these agencies could work more closely, then they're the same schmuck. That's Lenny Bruce said that. So I was quoting him. Um, so anyway, SWATgate. There was a SWATgate. That was because of Patarico. This guy Patarico, a blogger. He was buddies with Breitbart. He got swatted, and they said this guy Ron Breinart swatted. It was humongous convolution back in the day, and I was in the frickin' middle of it, and I got screwed by them. And that I got screwed by a government psyop, and then I never went away, and I just I kept after them. I ruined it I ruined Reddit. I think I did a lot of damage to these losers, and I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it. All right, I'm gonna hit like a countdown system. I mean, unfortunately, there's not one real alternative media or main media where they could frickin' just make a call or two, I bet, and verify everything I've ever said. I mean, Katie Halper, all one would have to do is find out who's paying her. I mean, it leaked out, but the problem with that is, like, it already leaked out what Tim Pool was getting some of that mystery money. Breitbart got mystery money, like a 10 million deal. So, and I had always assumed, I said my conclusion was he got that from cointelpro. And what people have to understand is that with these, Russia and the U.S. are not enemies, they're partners. Professor taught us this back in the college, undergrad. So it was undergrad, so you never know when someone's gonna unload some heavy knowledge. He said, like, what was it, Sparta versus Athens? He said, like, neither side, they were complementary. They weren't at battle. It's like how Bernie Sanders would say, I'm buddies with John McCain. I love John McCain. Or that Chuck Mangione manifesto, which I'm not sure he wrote that. So I'm figuring one might as well keep every single opinion bottled up because it's all fake. They blew it. They've been exposed. We have to stop giving them any of the data. I'm not giving them anything with anything. My singing is total freedom. That stuff is live. And then I smush them together. if the timing's off at all between the two tracks or two or more tracks, it's because I'm trying to line them up. It's not that easy. So that's live. I show a way to be free. In every video I make, I'm just speaking. I used to make it more like the system way where you edit it up, you chop and mop it. I get I get a minute and a half here, and I've spoken over 15 minutes. This is craziness. But I felt the need to express myself. I'm not going to ban. I mean, I know how difficult it is to be on social media and that we should all be off of it. So I'm just saying, as someone verified as effed with by them, that I'm doing it for all of us. So you might not you don't have to do it. You don't have to do anything. F them. F it all. You don't have to push any buttons or do anything. You don't have to be on internet. There's nothing going on and anywhere for unless you do it as just go for the primary sourcing. Otherwise, F it. F the AI and F the surveillance. And I was thinking the other day, if I was living in Ireland right now, if I was living in Ireland, I would go underground. Yeah, those guys, what is it, Mick and a female, they go to like in front of parliaments, the Irish, they're fake too. They went on Helper. They're fake, they're scripted. It's all fake democracy. They want the illusion of they want the illusion that Trump is changing things. It's all a big frickin' game to them. There's the people who are never voted in or out, called the military, in these corporations. And I think it's also fake that Musk or I think there's many more people involved in things, and that a person like people like Musk, Bezos, and Zuckerberg, I think people like that aren't. I think they're just fronts. I think things line up more with like the movie The Candidate with Robert Redford. That's a good one. I think that's what's going on. 100% scripting. And I pointed it out, and I think I made a huge impact on the, because this is timeless. There's no like time. This isn't time sensitive. This is like reality. None of them can talk without a script. They would make no sense at all. They would stutter over the words. They wouldn't have a clue how to. They wouldn't. They're nothing. They're nobodies. Look at Aaron Schwartz. He was running Reddit, owned it. He must have been raking in some money there. So how come if s- he? So how come that guy didn't have the power to do anything? Look at Assange. He didn't have power. What did it with Snowden? I think what they're gonna do is eventually they'll pardon Snowden because he's a tool. They'll just sucker him back in with a pardon because they have to reboot it. They have to reboot. But the thing is, you can't. This isn't Frankenstein was not possible. The story Frankenstein. Something which is dead cannot be brought back to life. And that's called the internet. No way in hell do they have anyone brainwashed anymore. I don't think so. I see nothing but AI comments everywhere. I see nothing but bullshit everywhere. I don't think there's much going on. Pretty bizarre. Piers Morgan. So that these people do end up connected onto those cable news shows. Is Piers Morgan's? I don't know where he is, but I see like people go on his show and they're nut jobs, and then Trump gets elected, and then they're bringing in all these like internet. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is in on it, so they've gone to like their last reserves, I think, of they're hanging on by a thread here. They got I don't know whose attention they have left. The Mangione thing is interesting, and the Kohlberger thing is interesting. Oh, but before we go to the video I want to show, I just want to I didn't finish the thought. If I was in Ireland, I would set up a grassroots movement, and it would be centered around outlawing AI and surveillance. So if I was in Ireland, if I was an Irish citizen, I would devote my whole existence towards outlawing AI, maybe even maybe even don't allow what do you call that? The bandwidth? No, the Wi-Fi. Maybe don't. Maybe if I was in Ireland, I'd try to get a whole country to say fuck off, and that's it, freedom. No, like there shouldn't be electricity flying in everywhere. Wi-Fi. So anyway, it didn't take much for me to bring down that cabal of live streamers. Somehow they know about my shtick. Somehow they know. I can tell. They can't. There's something odd going on for the. I just I don't know how to explain it really. I mean, the safest thing I could say would be I use telepathy, in which they could go. The narrative would be like, oh, look at that crazy guy with the main character syndrome. Now he's saying he can use uh, telepathy. But the thing is, I'm not saying I can use telepathy. That's in the. They're trying to push that people with autism have telepathy. I can't even pronounce the word that well, so how could I even? But but anyway, um, oh yeah. So I got a minute and a half of video, and I'll just do a countdown, and then I'll put this together, and that'll be that. This is so Whitney Webb just happens to go on Katie Helper, and one can see the teleprompter. It's going to be to your left. It's going to be her right glasses, the right her right side of her face. It's going to be to the left, if facing her. So to the left of Whitney Webb, one is going to be able to see a teleprompter reflecting off her glasses. Maybe even more of them, but it's just not. It used to be a lot easier for myself to find this sort of thing, but I did find a teleprompter for Russia Today. Their fault lines. I got numerous people to quit. I'm not gonna say everything I've done, and I no longer care really, but I did do quite well over the last several years. And I mean, I didn't even have to work hard at it, but it was pretty funny what I came up with from with Lusignan and with Faran Fronczak, and it's just I don't know. I feel good. I want to leave you guys like if this is the last video I ever make, which is always a possibility. I want to leave you guys with gratitude and to keep your chins up. They didn't get away with it. They can't fix this. What I've come up with can't be fixed. And what's going on is the people working for them, they're all junkies to begin with. One of them, like 5 years ago, forget her name. No one's ever heard. She like quit. And what I remember this. She goes, "We're all doomed junkies." So they get gaslit by the people writing for them. And I don't think no one can write that fast, so I'm fairly certain they're getting AI'd. Everything they say is AI. The thumbnails for their videos all use AI, and some of them have been using AI for a couple years now. But I've noticed they're just the whole none of it adds up. And people aren't stupid, and it's over. It got leaked out. They're reading off of teleprompters. It's inorganic. It makes no sense, and then it goes into on Piers Morgan, national TV. Even not Reagan, Trump on with Joe Rogan. So these people, what happens is they're either totally in on it, like an RFK Jr., like a Tulsi Gabbard, go on these shows. Cynthia McKinney in on it. Kucinich, I think he was on it. So they're all in on it, all tied to the hip. And they didn't get away with it. They can't. It's there. It's the reality of it. So we have to go with word of mouth. I recommend we all quit. We all quit internet. The best way maybe not internet like I use it for stamps or saying like we this is it. I'm not lying that it's where it's not. It's no longer. It's not health. It's never been healthy, and it's worse for one to follow the news cycle. And especially the how they I mean, I just try to I might pick up a headline here or there, but I'm not reading any much. I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy to quit, but I don't care and I don't read much. I'm only putting that on if I'm eating food or something. I'm not doing it because I think this is true. Or I know there's really bad stuff going on, but there's nothing any of us can do about it through social media. It's better to know. So the last I did then is word of mouth. This is something that's timeless now, so you could tell someone in 20, 30 years that everything is scripted. I mean, with the teleprompters, depending on how they. So right now, it's fairly obvious that I busted them completely, and I generated enough page views to do damage. I did well enough on a few other areas to draw people to the main idea I have of internet cointelpro. They're hurting. Those people doing those shows are hurting. They're being studied. I can't believe much as good is coming out of them being studied. I mean, they're not studying, they're trying to study us through them, but I don't think anyone, I don't think they're able to. I think everyone knows. I don't see any real comment. I don't see anything real comments anymore anywhere. I think it fell apart for them completely. I mean, why else were they arm flapping so much? Why did they escalate all that? Why if why if things aren't going haywire for them? Why are they sticking their hands in front of their faces? Why are they now putting a video box covering like a third of Rogan's face, or like right up to his face, and with the weird angles? So I did think out a lot. I did try to strategize and do the best I could with what I have for capability. And basically I made two videos that got big page views. The Hilary Baldwin, but especially the Howard Stern video I made. And then the singing becomes an act and shtick, and that drew some people. And then these people in real life, maybe they maybe they've already, who knows how many times, but maybe somewhere, somehow, in various scenarios, playing cards with friends, something like that. Then they told them, and they told, and then it multiplies. It's like there's a couple people who were thumbing up my videos, and thank you for doing that. I understand how brave it took you to do that, and it did give me the you don't have to do it anymore. But I mean I don't care about that anymore. But it and it wasn't just these last years on this live stream thing with the teleprompters founded on fault lines. Before then, I could tell that I was able to communicate through the written word about the internet convolution, and I don't regret then the internet addiction because I feel extremely good about the last several years and how this has panned out. I mean, I'm not happy that it feels like I'm driven off of internet because of this. They're going to be charging if you want to use the internet, the cloud. They're like, yeah, you can't have any. You used up all your storage. I'm like, what? What did I even do? It's like, so they're clearly breaking the law. But I'm not gonna live out a Lenny Bruce styled ending where I'm just thinking about lawsuits and the law and F it, F them is my final suggestion. They suck. They're left holding the bag. It's so convoluted and Orwellian what they do with that teleprompter stuff. All of it. All those live streams with the chats. All fake. And once someone knows that, they can look for it and then they'll go, wait a minute. And then you ask yourself, why are those two people in fake dialogue? I just watched a little earlier today. I took it off mute. It was Gray Zone with Blumenthal and Mate, and I was just listening to Blumenthal at the beginning, and he sounded so stupid, and he obviously sounded like he was trying to act spontaneous and unscripted, but it still sounded idiotic and scripted. And there was one line where he said like I did great work. I should track that down, and I'll do that. I'll track that down and add it to the other ones. So I'm gonna have to put this on pause. When I come back, we'll run through a minute and a half of Helper with Whitney Webb, and I'm saying that Webb, you could see a teleprompter reflecting off of her glasses. It's difficult, but I think one can still see it. And then I'll try to grab. I try to do this quickly so I don't suffer. Or, like what's the thing? The fools, where like don't suffer the fools. That's it. Um, that was odd. Uh, but it was like, all right, forget it. It doesn't matter. Suffer came out, I think, and then fool. You don't want to suffer fools, right? But did the idea of suffer without arise first without the fool part? I don't know. I think that's a bit of autism. I think that's a bit of insight into autism. So we're just smart. We don't put people with autism we're not putting up any blocks. We don't have any ego to worry about. We each have neurotypical as a brain, Aspie, myself, brain. But I maybe the Aspie has better access to the brain. Sorry, truth hurts, I guess. But we also have those issues. So I mean, takes a village, so to speak. All right, I'm going to the pause system, and I'll be back. Thanks. Pause. Testing the voice. Okay, yeah, I added it. It's gonna be pretty funny. Max Blumenthal. It's pretty funny. All right, so this is gonna be about 3 minutes, minute and a half of the ladies, and then a minute and a half of the blokes, and that'll be it. So in 3 minutes, no more Tokyo Shemp video. That'll be it. So here we go. We're gonna count it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start. So if you look in the left on Whitney Webb, that's what I'm saying. It's right there. Reflecting off of her glasses. I had trouble finding this. I had to cherry pick around to even find this. Maybe there's better. And they play angles too, trying to make the other. They try to make it as if they're in a spontaneous dialogue, because it wouldn't make sense for three. They do a lot of shaking of the head up and down, and they have people controlling the direction of their where they're looking, like there, and they try to make it, and then they coordinate it between the two people to make it seem as if they're talking over a Zoom meeting. But once one knows what they're doing, that no longer works. I think this is the same video, and I just played it a second time where might be easier to see it. So the bigger the screen, the easier to see it, but you still can't see it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Gray Zone. We apologize for not being in class last week. We were away doing other productive things. I think Aaron was guest hosting Jimmy Dore. And
You think that?
I've just been publishing a ton of incredible material at the Gray Zone. Welcome, Aaron.
Hey, Max. Hey, everybody. Yeah, you have been publishing some great stuff. At least one of which
I made like the greatest video the other. I'm just an incredible. I've been doing some incredible singing of late. So, all right, we got about a half minute to go. I thought that's pretty funny, him sounding like a loser. So my theory, because it's just going to cut short in 20 seconds, my theory, which I'm pretty sure of, is that these guys are getting gaslit to the yin-yang. They're getting effed with by who they work for to see how much people can be controlled, how they will perform under duress, how crazy are they willing to get. So that's it. That's the end of the show. Thanks for tuning in, and if I never make another video again, thanks again. Good luck. You're the awareness. You're neither the brain nor the body. One is the awareness. And we are ancient, and those people are they're on like the worst possible outcome track anyone could be on. So the key is to exist and to do it the right way. And that means breaking off from them, which is the medium, the media, the tech companies, everything about it is garbage. They want to control us through words and ideas. They can't do that if we're not on the internet pushing buttons. Freedom is everything. Living in the moment is everything. Nothing they're doing is legitimate. If someone, they crossed a line here where it's over, and they can never be forgiven for what they're doing. It's disgusting, and they're scum. The internet's totally controlled by them, and they're stuck with it, with the AI nonsense, and how everything sucks, and how everything is them. So we can collectively say to them, we thank you for this, and good luck with that.